Okay, so in this video today, I'm going to be showing you 9 ways that you can land your first copywriting client. Okay, so the first one is tell everyone. So by this, I mean that you should position yourself as a copywriter, as a person that writes copy, and you should output this to the world. And that means any opportunity where you see maybe someone needs a writer, or there's a bit of content that's needed, or maybe you see a website where the copy's like not not done very well, like it's a bit, not great, it needs updating, or sometimes if they've got lorem ipsum on their website. A good tip for that, I'm going immediately off topic, but is you can actually Google a company's name and then type in lorem ipsum. And if they have lorem ipsum in if it comes up in a search result, they have old pages that they need copy for. And then you can then email them and say, I've noticed there's lorem ipsum on your site. Do you need a writer? So basically, this first step is just being constantly on the lookout and telling everyone you know that you're a copywriter, outputting into the world. Any opportunity you see where someone might need a writer, you're the person for the job. So the second one, and I think this is how I started personally, is get on freelance platforms. The best one, in my opinion, is Fiverr, and I think it's the best for copywriters as well. I don't like Upwork. I think Upwork is a race to the bottom, meaning like basically clients are just looking for the cheapest possible writer that they can get. Um, and you want to be paid good money for your writing. So I recommend Fiverr. I think it's great. I think the way that the client relationship is structured is much better as well, because with Fiverr you create gigs that then clients find. So you can make as many gigs as you like. I think they've limited now to 7, but you used to be able to make as many as you like. But now you can make, I think, 7 or 10 gigs, and then you can just leave it, and then you can do other outreach at the same time, and people will find your stuff. Whereas Upwork, you have to put in a lot of time into it, and you might get nothing, and you then just feel bad, and it all ends in tears. So I recommend make some Fiverr gigs. I've got a video on that, so you can watch that. But yeah, I recommend doing that. And the third is outreach and finding your first client can be done on socials. So I think LinkedIn is the best social platform for copywriters. It's where all the copywriters hang out. It's where I connect with other copywriters. So if you're a copywriter, please connect with me, add me. And I just think it's a really good way of presenting yourself, and it's a good sort of virtual CV in a way. I have it in my cold email bio, like my signature, so they can see that I am a copywriter. They can see the work I've done, and it's just a way to look legit, and so they can see your face. So I highly recommend making a nice LinkedIn. Instagram, I've heard people do really well on. I've never used it for cold outreach. I've never landed a client through Instagram because I don't have Instagram, but I know that it's a good one. I know that some people have used it and they've done really well. So you can also message people on Instagram. If you see pages that maybe like a business page and you think maybe they need copy for their either the socials or their website, then just send them a DM on Instagram. You can send a lot of DMs on Instagram. That's another benefit that I know of Instagram, is that you can send a bunch, whereas LinkedIn, they restrict it. You're only allowed to do a certain amount a day. Then the fourth one is, I guess, a bit more of a serious method. So finding your first client can sometimes be as simple as just emailing the right person at the right time. And when you're starting out and you're trying to find your first client, generally you're going to land it because you've just been in the right place at the right time. Like someone just needs someone cheap and new to write some copy. They don't really care who it is, but they just need someone who can write well and who's going to do it quickly and well. And if you just cold email at the right time, they'll just say yes, like, I need you. That's it. This is how I landed my first client, with cold email. It's in my first video. I show you exactly the email I sent and how I landed it. But essentially, I was just in the right place at the right time. Like they had an ad on Upwork, which I'd seen, but I didn't want to apply through Upwork. And then I sort of came across the company through looking at my LinkedIn. I thought, oh, they just had an Upwork ad. So then I thought, let me email them as a cold email. And then they were like, oh yeah, we actually just need someone like right now, because they I think they were getting rid of, like, another person was leaving in the company, so they needed someone quickly to replace them, and I just was in the right place at the right time. So cold email, I recommend. I'll do more videos on cold email because it is an entire world in itself. But essentially, it won't hurt to just email people. You know, maybe send like 5 or 10 emails a day just to people that you might think that they need copy. You might not get a copywriting client, but you might learn something. You know, they might say, "Oh, actually, I have a friend who maybe needs this type of copy for this website. Maybe you could try email them." Like, if you're polite and you're nice, like, people will take a chance. You know, they will be nice back. Um, Blogging. So here is one way that you can um, get your first client is just by having content online already. So blogging could, I guess, include it, it could include also being a content creator. So I know that some people they get into the copywriting game because they write a blog themselves about whatever, like, I don't know. I always use gardening as an analogy, but they write something that they like cooking or something like that. And then they get reached out to by, a cooking brand and said, "Oh, can you do the same thing for us?" And it's just a good way to get into the habit of writing as well. And writing about something you like. Like, I tried to get into blogging actually as a side hustle, but it didn't go very well at all. I didn't make any money. I made $15 in the whole year. But I then used that site, um, and then I used that as a case study because I got good SEO traffic on it. So then I said to a client, "Oh, look, I've made this site and I've got all this traffic on it. And I did that all by myself. Like, I could do the same for your site." And then I landed that client that way. Um, Number 6 is writing communities. So I'm not really part of any writing communities. You don't need to be, but I know that people have done well through this. So there's sites like Discuss, and even on Reddit, like, people just get into like communities and they ask people what they need and things like that. And that's often how you can land gigs there. I think Matthew Morgan's got a good video, if you check his channel out, and he actually has a whole system about landing clients on Reddit, and it's very clever. Like, it's just basically a way of using a tool to sift the posts according to what people need, and then you can be the copywriter that comes in and says, I can do this for you. So number 7 is local networking. Again, like, this isn't something that I've done, but I know that people have done it. Is just ask people that you know. Like, ask the guy down the street, or like your uncle, or someone that you know, that has a business and you know has something going on, or has, like, wants to expand their business or something like that, and then you can come in. So I think the best client to get when you're new is someone else who's also new, because you can sort of learn together. And if you can find anyone who's just starting out, like just a new business, they're not really sure what they're doing. Like, do they need content or not? Do I need a website? Do I need a Instagram page? Do I need LinkedIn? You can then be the person that comes in and says, "Okay, I will be your copywriter. I will help you find your brand voice. I will write emails for you. I'll write articles for you. I'll write whatever you need. I'll be your person to help you to boost this business." Um, Number 8, which I think is very underrated, is speak to other copywriters. Like, we're the ones who are also getting clients. So we often have clients that we can't work with, or that don't exactly fit with they just don't fit with us. They don't fit with our, like, business. So I've had plenty of clients that I've had, and then I've decided, oh, I can't really do this work, or I just don't really want to. So then I'm almost left to give it to someone else, but I don't have anyone to give it to. It's a sort of hot lead that's ready for someone else, and then I might ask some of my friends, "Oh, do you want it?" And they'll be like, "No." And it if you get into a network, as I pointed out with LinkedIn, which is why LinkedIn is so great, you can build a sort of community of copywriters where we all share each other's clients. We all sort of like work together. I think the copywriting community on LinkedIn is really nice. Everyone's supportive. Everyone's really friendly. It's great. So definitely cold email other copywriters and add them on LinkedIn. I even now I add copywriters who do what I do on LinkedIn. I've added a bunch of other finance copywriters, same as me, because I want to know what they're doing and I want to see what they're doing, and I just want to support them because they're doing what I do. And then you never know, like something might come up. And then number 9 is pretty simple, but I think gets overlooked, is job boards. So a lot of job boards now, especially on LinkedIn, sorry to bang on about LinkedIn a lot, but job boards are posting freelance contracts. So often now, if a company needs a freelance copywriter, they won't go on Upwork or Fiverr. They will post it as a job listing, and it will have freelance in the description, and you can apply to that. There is a lot of competition there, so you're likely to lose out if you're new, but you never know. Like if you find quite an empty job board with a job one that not many people have applied to, they might take a chance on you. And if you write a nice CV, have a good portfolio, it's worth a shot. So yeah, there's 9 ways that you can try and land your first client. I'd love to hear if anyone has any success with these and which ones you think work the best. I recommend just doing a combination of all of them. That's pretty much what I do. Like now at my level, it's LinkedIn and cold email, I think is where I'm at. And that, in my opinion, those are the most effective. But when you're starting out, I recommend best place to start is Fiverr. Make Fiverr gigs. It's great. It's a great way to get a little. It's a great way to get a bit of money in your pocket and also just get a good portfolio going. It's ideal. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.